Hey guys, Bags. So, normally not experts, only opinions, but I am a paramedic, so I kind of know a little bit about what we're talking today. I'm expanding from a previous video about first aid kit considerations, and so I want to talk about something I did for a buddy of mine. This is his car first aid kit, and I kind of took it, revamped it, took it apart, put it back together, expanded it a little. So here it is. It's just a Be Smart Get Prepared first aid kit. It's a rollout kit that had a hanging hook. We kind of took that off. We slipped it onto the outside. It has a carrying strap. We just kind of secured that around it just for whatever purpose. Yeah. So this is going to contain a few items that are not standard. This is, you can see it's a little bulky. It's a little heavier. This is a car first aid kit. So this is something that is always in the vehicle for when we are out hiking, when we are out shooting, for emergencies, what have you. This is the go-to emergency kit. Here's a couple little things that my buddy keeps as per my direction in his glove box. Some loose 4x4s, tweezers, scissors, a bit of forceps, an ace wrap, some ibuprofen, band-aids galore, some tape, a whistle, and a military pressure bandage there. And those are for quick grabs. This is what you go to immediately. So the first aid kit's there for emergency use. Your quick grab items, I always recommend, get a handful of Band-Aids, keep them in a little Ziploc, keep those in your glove box, keep them in your purse, keep them in your bag, whatever, because that's the number one thing you're gonna utilize. A couple of small 4x4s works great, and an ace wrap's good for many a thing. For the real emergencies, when we're out and about, is this guy. So we're going to open them up and we're going to walk through them. When you open it up, I've gone through here and modified a lot. It's a fold out and roll out, and there's some additional items we've added to here which are not standard. Most of these additional items you can purchase on Amazon. You can get these through medical supply stores. A few of these items may require prescription. You can talk to your doctor if you got some medical friends. There are very legal ways to go about acquiring these items. There's actually a lot of these items available now online. You can just order, especially from even pet supply stores, you can get them. So we're going to go through here, and we're going to just start in order. When you open up the bag, it opens up this way. In our first upper section, we have a few quick grab medical supplies, medications and ointments and what have you. So chapstick is always a friend to everybody, and that's just some aloe vera burn cream, which I'm associating to the chapstick, which is just a petroleum-based product. In this pouch, we have some Benadryl, diphenhydramine, 25 milligrams, standard capsules. You can get those over the counter. Over here, we have some antacid tablets. You can do this with Tums. I went ahead and added some Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus for cold and flu symptoms. I believe Alka-Seltzer Cold Plus is a really good product. There's some great products out there based on the 3 active ingredients. I think it's one of the best. There's generic brands. They substitute a couple of the ingredients in there. Do your homework, take a look, talk to your doctor, make sure you don't have any allergies. In this upper left pouch, we have some Zofran. This is available via prescription. You can talk to your doctor, get some prescriptions for, it's for nausea. So 2 of those, some electrolyte tablets, essentially they're salt and basic electrolyte tablets. This is salt, potassium, sodium, calcium, and then a couple of Pedialyte electrolyte solutions. You add those to water and you can oral rehydrate. So essentially, if you have diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, you want to control that vomiting, you want to rehydrate and keep that person hydrated. So those go right there. Here we have some insect wipes. These are really good. You can pick these up online on Amazon. They're really good. They're usually ammonia-based. There's sting relief pens. Those are always good. There's some Hydrocortisone 1% cream. You can buy those over the counter. You can order all these online. You do kind of pay a premium. Over here in our med pouch, we have some 81 milligram chewable aspirins. We have some ibuprofen. And then these are Tylenols. 325s. You can go with the 500 milligram extra strength. To note, here, take a look. I want everyone to please remember, if you're using Tylenol, that's acetaminophen. It's processed through your liver. Recent changes have come out. It used to be 4,000 milligrams in 24 hours. It's now a max dose of 3,000 milligrams in 24 hours. If you're using Tylenol, and extra strength Tylenol, you can only use 6 of those tablets in a day. Don't do more than that. You can cause liver issues. Please be aware. Always read the small print on medications. So when we flip up here, this is a pouch that contains essentially just an assortment of gauzes. Just a bunch of gauze, as I like to say. It's got a couple of petroleum gauzes, good for certain types of chest wounds and burns. There's a couple of smaller ones, same thing. 2 large ABD pads, about 4 to 5 4x4s. Some 2x2s that are Tefla, which is a non-stick, and then a standard 2x2, which is cotton sponging. And then there are also 2 Tagaderms. These are also, all of this is available via Amazon. You can find them at a good medical supply store. You can also find them at a good pharmacy store. There's another section of pouches here. This is Dermabond. You can get this through medical supply. You can get this online through Amazon. I want to just say right now, Dermabond is not super glue, okay? It is a proprietary product. Similar to super glue, but different. Super glue, if you ever use it, it's going to bond instantly. It's unforgiving, and it's clear. You don't really see where it's going. Dermabond is similar to super glue, but it has a thinning agent, so it's slightly watered down. It takes a little longer. That's so you can approximate wounds together. It also has a colored agent in there, so it's purple, so you can see where you're applying it. It's a little more forgiving when you do that. We have an eye wound kit, a couple of eye gauze patches, 2 eye shields, and then some ophthalic erythromycin antibiotic eye ointment. All right?
So stay in frame.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
So these are, that's your eye wound. This is nasal packing for nosebleeds. It is sterile, sealed, and it expands upon contact with moisture or blood. You would put that into nose. This can be a little harder to find. That can be substituted with a couple tampons. Get some of the collapsible tampons. You should be good. Over here in our back pouch, we have a couple of additional working supplies. Small bottle of hydrogen peroxide, 3%. An eye washer saline for neutral, that is neutral sterile water for clearing out eyes and or wounds. We have some tape, always good to have. We have two sets of Coban, that is stretchy and sticks to himself. Not to be confused with standard athletic tape, which is used for taping and stirrups. There are some ammonia inhalants in there. All of these products available online. 2 small Ace wraps. These are good for compression bandages. You can do a lot with these for sprains and strains. Here we have just an assortment of just some scissors, tweezers, forceps. There's a splinter remover, which is a kind of like a half scalpel blade. It's interesting it came with this first aid kit. 2 HEPA 95 masks available at any hardware store. These are really good, especially for TB or any kind of risk of exposure to airborne pathogens. 2 tourniquets. Never want to apply those unless you know what you're doing. This is some Castile soap. You want to wash your hands. It's just neutral soap. It's very good. Couple sets of scalpels. Okay, always good to have. This is a disposable thermometer that can be used for individuals. You want to always have a thermometer. It's good. This is a Saline Flush. This might you might have to get a prescription. You can sometimes find these online. They have in medical supply stores. It's good for wound irrigation as well. Large pair of hemostat forceps. Hand sanitizer. Your first aid kit and you should always carry some hand sanitizer. You want to stay clean. An extra roll of 1-inch silk. We're going to talk about this. This is really good tape. It's really got a lot of uses. In here we have an assortment of Band-Aids. Okay, this is why I talk about having the quick Band-Aids that you always get right out of the ones that you would normally want to have available in your glove box. But a first aid kit needs it. So we have here some antibiotic ointments, as well as some provine iodine pads, as well as some neutral saline pads for wound wiping and irrigation and cleaning. And then we have some alcohol pads. Don't really use those in wounds, but we can use them around wounds, sterilized equipment. We have some hand wipes to keep your hands clean if you're providing any kind of care. Down here we have an internal pouch, and in here we have a couple other goodies. Some of these may require some assistance. This is a small medical staple, so that instead of sutures, you can do staples. They have their indications. I'm a paramedic, I'm trained, so I have my buddy go ahead and we add some things in here that I can use when we are out hiking, if it's an overnight trip. So that's an item there to consider. 3 rolls of gauze, couple pairs of gloves. We have here 2 sterile needles, okay? You want to be careful with these, but they can be used for blisters, as well as some kind of irrigation techniques, getting out splinters, a lot of good uses. Should always have 2 triangular bandages. You can do a lot of things with triangular bandages. Compression, you can make slings, you can do a lot of cravat stuff with it. It's very good. I have 2 Lidocaine, these are anti-pain localized medications. It's a topical cream. There's some benzocaine creams available out there over the counter. You can get stuff, Lidocaine creams online. You can actually buy these from tattoo supply stores. So they sell them, so some people, they want to get tattoos, but they don't want to earn them through the pain, so they use the lotions. It's the same thing. It's all just a Lidocaine cream, usually a 1 to up to 3% cream. A space blanket, which is always nice. Mylar blanket, people are in shock, you want to keep them warm, want to keep them dry. When people are injured, that's important. I keep 2 pairs of sutures in here. I do know how to suture. If you don't know how to use something, don't use it. Sometimes it's nice to have the supplies available just in case you have someone there that is trained. So I always put a set of sutures in my first aid kits. I'm trained, I've done suturing, so it's one of those things that I like to have available to me, a tool in the toolbox. You want to have a couple of condoms. You never know when condoms might come in handy. They have their uses. We'll do a video on them. There's a lot of talks out there. Condoms are non-lubricated, standard condoms. They can work as gloves, water holding, so it's good to have them. Couple of ice packs, always helpful. Couple of additional masks. These are not HEPA 95 masks. They're just additional masks to prevent cough or getting particulates on yourself or others. And then 1 pack of emergency purified water, clean water, for irrigating a wound if you need to, or if you just need to rehydrate someone. A pack of water is pretty handy. You can do that with a bottle of water. Water is important. So that's it. This is just what I would call a standard car first aid kit. Couple additional items that you may need to go online to order. You may need to get some additional training. The biggest thing is, if you get yourself prepared beforehand, you'll know what to do. You can take basic first aid classes at your local YMCA. If you have friends in the medical field, have them sit down. If you have opportunity, you can contact your local fire department. They'll usually hold first aid classes, and the American Red Cross always has CPR and first aid available. All of the items here are available for purchase online or through some prescription or medical supplies. You may dip into tattoo supplies if you want to get the Lidocaine creams. You can go to pet supply stores. They have a lot of stuff. The biggest factor is the more prepared you are, the better equipped you are to handle situations. Paired with that, get some training. If you have a medical friend, have them get involved, show you some basic things. Again, this is a car kit that stays in my buddy's car for when we're out together. It's all I walk him through some basic uses. Just a basic ice pack, some Band-Aids, an A-strap. Just have something. If you don't have a first aid kit, just go buy one off the shelf. Once you have it off the shelf, adapt it to what you need. If you have medical allergies, add an EpiPen. If you have, if you're going hiking, add some Benadryl, add some bug wipes. If you're gonna be somewhere where you could become dehydrated, consider some electrolyte replacement considerations. The idea is a first aid kit is the first line of keeping alive in a disaster or in an emergency. So this is just something to toss out ideas. If you have questions, go ahead and put it on there. There's a lot of resources out there. I'm going to link it. A couple of things there. Dr. Bones and Nurse Amy, they got some good stuff. But I'm by no means an expert, except maybe I'm a paramedic too, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, trolling criticisms, as always, please put them down in the comments. If you want me to spotlight anything or you have a question about something works, let me know. This is not supposed to be a comprehensive blowout kit. This is just a standard first aid kit that's been expanded slightly. So if you have any questions, comments, leave them in there. Like, subscribe, share to your friends, do whatever you want. But stay safe.